how are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Mutoni. So I don't know, I'm very excited today for obvious reasons. Not obvious, but for some other reasons I don't want to talk about today. And today we'll be talking about something that is quite sensitive to most of us, but it's something that really affects our social life, how we relate with our partners and all that. So today I said we're going to talk about this. So if you're a guy, or rather if you're a man, and you want to exit this video, you might as well take a few minutes to see, to listen to what I'm going to say, because this video is both for women and men, girls and boys, teenagers, especially if you have a sibling who is a teenager, or just a friend or someone. After watching this video, you'll see who you need to recommend this video to, because this thing is quite personal. It really talks about. I'll be using some, this topic is quite sensitive, and I don't want to keep on repeating some words so much, because they will be maybe offensive or something. But number one, when I say behind, I mean your buttocks, uko nyuma, like the area between your waist going down to your thighs, the buttocks. I don't keep saying buttocks, so when I say behind, you know what I'm saying. When I say breavage, like there's a cleavage and there's a breavage. Breavage, I'll be referring to the gap between your butt cheeks. Oh my god, it's already funny, but it's not funny guys, it's not funny. But when I say number 2, I'll be referring to long call. When I say number 1, I'll be referring to short call. I think we are together until 9. So, and I have company. I have her, she, I don't know what to call her. She's with me here because I'll be doing a few demonstrations and I can't use myself for obvious reason. I know it will look very weird if I use myself, so I'll be using her and she's covered, but we're going to uncover her when need be. So guys, without much further ado, and so today I'll be very precise. I'll not be showing you so many products. I just want to concentrate on the behind, issue. The topic is how to keep your behind smelling fresh and clean every time. So, one thing, point to note number 1, this thing, tissue, it does not clean your behind. This thing is meant to wipe the shit out of your behind. So this is not enough to keep you smelling fresh and smelling, good. But then, point of correction, you don't have to smell good. You don't have to smell like flowers. You don't have to smell like I don't know what. But you don't have to smell something at the same time. It's either you smell nothing or you smell something good. So this is not enough to clean your behind, and that's why I came here with my my products. And guys, let me remind you that this is my preference. This is not just for everyone. If you prefer using something else, well and good, but this works for me. So topic number 1, this is very important. A shaver, will be having a scrubber, and at the same time, if you're shaving, you'll be having this coconut oil, which if you use something else and it works for you, well and good. We'll be having some gloves, scrubbing gloves. But if you choose to oh my god, if you choose to use something else like a washcloth or whatever you use to clean your body, or it's enough. Personally, I prefer using this, and this is new, but I have something that I've used over the time, which I use for this, as in for bathing myself. And then we have bio oil. And then we have pocket tissues. We have some soap. I use Dal for bathing like my body, and for my face, as I told you last time, I use Dettol Sensitive, but this is equally good for bathing, or rather bathing. And also I have some wet wipes, and I have some lotion. So let's start. Number one, I don't want to lose track, so I summarize some of those things and the points, because I don't want to lose track of my of what I want to say exactly. So number one thing, as I've told you, tissue does not clean your behind. Tissue is meant to wipe off the shirts, and wiping off doesn't mean it's perfectly wipes off. So that's why you need some wet wipes, and I prefer this kind of wet wipes compared to other kinds of wet wipes, because this one, it comes as let me open this. Oh my god. Because I don't have to carry the whole pack. I can just have this in my purse, or I can just carry one when I'm going to the washroom. Some of you will say it's scented and all that, but honestly, I prefer using this. If you prefer using something else, well and good, but as long as it's a wet wipe. So why do you need a wet wipe after using the tissue? A case scenario, you're driving. I don't want to say you're driving. Okay, I mean you're driving, and when you go to the washroom, there's some splattering and spilling and all that, and sometimes the tissue doesn't do the perfect job. So this is where the wet wipe comes in. If you're in your house, you can always shower and all that, but let's say you're somewhere else, you're at work or somewhere, that's where this one comes in. After using the tissue, and by the way, one tissue is not enough. I don't know in average how many boxes you use, but wiping once is not enough. You have to go back with a second time, or even a third time, until you feel it's okay. Then after that, you can go in with a wet wipe. That is when if you're using a public toilet or something, or you're not in your house. But if you're in your house, you can always take a shower. You can always take what do you call it, half shower, or you can just shower the whole body. You get what I'm saying. So a wet wipe is very important. I know many will say, oh, we cannot carry wet wipes, and let me tell you one thing. You don't have to always go for number 2 outside your house. You can actually train yourself to always do it in your house. Like for example, I noticed that my son never goes for number 2 at school or at someone's house, and that one really challenged me. And I was like, wow, because I noticed that every time he was coming from school, he would rush to the washroom, because maybe he used to feel like the toilet is not clean enough, or something outside, because it's shared by many students. And I realized I can actually control my timing for going to the long call. And the one thing I know for sure is, if you have a coffee in the morning immediately when you wake up, it helps you to go for a long call. Or some maybe hot water, some maybe a smoothie or a juice. I don't know, find out whatever works for you to avoid going for number 2 outside your house, because it's unhygienic. I don't like it. Personally, I don't even like it when someone uses my washroom and we're not close, because I don't know, I'm just being petty or something. But anyway, you get my point. This is important. Alternatively, there are showers, like modern showers nowadays, which have we call it a bidet shower. It's something like you just press and then water comes out. It used to be for Muslims, kitambo, but I'm finding it in so many modern washrooms right now, which is a plus, and you should try to use it. The only thing I can caution you about that thing, make sure it doesn't come into contact with your behind, hold it from a distance, and make sure you've turned on the water. It's on, I like it when it's on, on full throttle or something, you go out and then you just spray yourself, and then now you can come in with the tissue to just dry yourself. So I think we are done like with the waters and all that. Number 2, shaving. Guys, I know there are some people, and I'm not blaming you, I'm not against you. There are some people who have never shaved themselves, and by shaving, this is where this thing comes in now. By shaving, I don't mean just shaving your butt cheeks. I mean you should also shave this part, like as you're coming to the how do you call this part? Begin from here, like on the thighs, between the thighs, then you come here. If it's possible, shave all around. You can even shave. I don't know. My butt cheeks don't have hair. I don't know if yours have, but it's always good to shave. Because if you don't shave and you have, let's say, there are some people like me personally. I know I have a big behind. So if you imagine you have the hair there, and then there's friction, and then you're sweating, all that combined is not so good and can even have a smell which is not even pleasant. So from a habit of shaving, personally I like using this Lady Vic, because I think my skin is quite sensitive. And when you're shaving, I don't know what you prefer using, but as for me, coconut oil works perfectly. You apply coconut oil and then you go in with your shaver. If you can, for people who do waxing, I don't know, I would find it quite weird someone waxing my breathage. But if you do it at home, you can always apply coconut oil and then you go in with the shaver, and that will help. So that's it. Make sure you shave. Another thing is scrubbing. Okay, I'm not saying this is the best product because I don't know what you prefer, but for me, this is what I prefer. It's coffee, sea salt bath whitening spa. Although that part of whitening, I am not so much into it. But this thing, it smells of coffee. It smells so good. And guys, I'm telling you, if you want to, let me say this. I know it's off the topic, but for me, a guy who smells nice, automatically you've ticked one of my boxes, because I like people who smell good, because I don't know, but if you smell good, you're clean. Hygiene is very important for your social life. I don't know how much I can first emphasize that, but this thing, it leaves me smelling so good. So what I do is when I'm in the shower, after shaving, of course, I'm not saying you have to shave every day, but after shaving, I'll go in with my one thing I didn't tell you is that me with coconut oil, I don't get any shaving bumps. So after that, I'll go in with the scrub, and then I will scrub. But then make sure you scrub even the cheeks. I'll scrub the cheeks, and then I've shaved. So I'll go here and scrub the entire place. I'll make sure that it's properly scrubbed. And one thing I'll tell you, don't be so rough on yourself. Make it gentle. Don't over scrub, because again, if you over scrub, you'll be left with an uncomfortable feeling. You'll be feeling itchy. Sometimes you'll even start getting some watery or moisture on the breathage, which is not comfortable at all. And another thing, by the way, for ladies, if you wear thongs, make sure it's the right size, because if it's a smaller size, it's going to cause a lot of friction over the breathage, and you'll be hurt, you'll be feeling itchy and all that. It's uncomfortable. You might not feel it that moment, but later on you'll experience some uncomfortable feeling. Sometimes it's even become moist. If you follow me on Instagram, I have pinned a story where we discussed. It was about there was some time I was feeling some moisture on my breathage, and it was quite uncomfortable because it had some certain smell, and I realized I was wearing a thong which was not the right size, so it was constantly causing some friction over there. So if you are to wear a thong, make sure it's the right size. If you wear bodysuits here, sometimes you feel like it's giving you the panty line, and you want to put it at the middle, and then it causes some friction. So just generally take care of what you wear, and because it affects how you feel. And so that's it about scrubbing and all that. Another thing after scrubbing, when you're done with the showering and all that, you spray and all that, make sure you moisturize that place. Moisturize it. I don't know whatever you use, but for me, bio oil works quite perfectly for me. I use bio oil. There's some people who use coconut oil, some people use Aramis, whatever you want to use, whatever works for you. Just make sure that place is moisturized. Yeah. The next thing, also remember to moisturize. This bio oil was for my breathage. The breathage was for the breathage, but for the cheeks or rather the peaches, just use your normal lotion or whatever you want to use. Personally, this is I'll be using this one for today because I really, like in the other video I showed you so many products, but when whatever you're using to moisturize your body, you can moisturize your butt cheeks with the same. I don't know if you realize, like some people, sometimes you feel like you not like you feel, but your behind your butt cheeks are darker, and it's because you don't scrub them and you don't moisturize them as you're moisturizing your whole body. And one thing, when you're using glycerin or a coconut oil or a bio oil, whatever you want to use, take note that you begin with the lotion, then you go in the oil. That way it helps to conserve the moisture in there. So, and I already told you, personally I use Dove for bathing my body. If it's not Dove soap, I use the Dove shower gel. Whichever shower gel you use, whatever you use, if it's a soap, is a hard shower gel, just make sure you do the same to your behind. And another thing, you need this thing in your handbag or in whatever, a sanitizer. If you are at all going to use a public toilet, I don't like the idea of just squatting there and if you're going for number 2, you're there squatting, and because you don't want to sit on the toilet seat, you're there squatting, and there's a lot going on. There's some splashing which will be quite unhygienic. So what I prefer doing is, if I'm going to a toilet which is not my toilet, be it at work, be it in a hotel, I just have some kind of paranoia. I don't trust them. So what I do is I'll always rather have my sanitizer. Oh my god, this sanitizer is kind of big because I have like a whole 5 liter of sanitizer, and I just refilled this one. So anyway, what I was saying is, this thing, when you're going to a toilet that is not yours, you carry this, and then you take the tissue. And another thing, not all toilets have tissue. Imagine your breast, you're going to a toilet and then there's no tissue. What will you do? That's why you need this for the tissue. I don't know whichever company you use, but I prefer Faye because it's quite soft. It does not come out, like it doesn't dust. What do you call those dust particles? Like it's just compact. I liked it's compact and it's soft. So you just take your tissue or your pocket tissue, then you pour, or you just pour on the toilet seat, and then you wipe off. That way you're sure you not get any infection or any kind of germ. So a sanitizer is good, ladies especially. Make sure you always carry. Oh my god, you carry a sanitizer wherever you're going because it's important. It's important. Even for sanitizer, even before you even use the toilet. I remember when we were in primary school, there was always this question: do you wash our hands before or after visiting the toilet? The answer is both. You should sanitize or rather wash your hands before using the toilet. If you don't want to wash your hands, have a sanitizer, a standby, because it's going to help, or even a wet wipe. So I think I've said it all for today, guys. And another thing, after showering, make sure you pat dry the breathage part, because if you get moist, it's not a good, you might get the same smell. And you feel like, I don't know if you do this, but personally I smell myself because I'm very conscious about smells. But sometimes you might just shower and feel like the smell is not going, like the smell from the behind. So there's some people who prefer, like, if a sauna or a knee is your thing, make sure if you're steaming, you're also steaming your behind. Alternatively, you can put water in a bucket, hot water in a bucket, then you put salt, then you can sit on it. No, it's weird. Or if you have a bathtub, you can just add some salt or some bathing salt, then just sit there. It's going to help. There are some people who prefer douching. Personally, I don't subscribe to that, but if it works for you, well and good. I don't find it how do I say this without making it offensive? I wouldn't douche my behind. Maybe in future I might, but for now I don't, and I don't think I've never considered douching my behind. But well, whatever works for you, whatever rocks your boat. If you have tips that I've not mentioned, you can share with us on the comments. And don't forget to watch the other video. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Bye.